Hello, I am Irfan Lodhi. Welcome to the third free Primavera online training session. If you could not attend previous training sessions, you can watch all the recorded sessions onto my YouTube channel under the playlist called Primavera Tutorials. The topic today is very important from planning perspective. I have seen many people they suffer to load the resources correctly into the program. Let us go through what are resources. The resources are workforce that are utilized to start and complete an activity, such as staffs, laborers, machinery, tools, equipments, materials, etc. etc. Project plan is not realistic if it is not resource loaded properly. Now I am going to take you to the Primavera and we will explore further what are resources and how to assign and how to create. Okay, if you look at the schedule here, it is the same schedule we developed. I'm going to use the same schedule activities and we are going to create resource first. How to create resource? So if you see here, this symbol, it is called resources. So the first thing you have to click on the resources and you will find out all the resources which is in your Primavera database. Now how to add resources? Click on add button. A window is open and in this window you have resource ID which is important and your resource ID must be unique. Let me put here P6003. What would be resource name? Now resource name I would say technician. Click next. Now you have option to select either it's labor means people, non-labor machinery equipment, or it might be cost. And the third one is material. Now we will stick to labor and we will go next. Price unit. We are not going to put any price unit. Default time per unit it will take from the calendar assigned, and also the maximum units per time will take from the calendar. So leave it as it is. Then click next. You have some other options which are not really relevant. If you want, you can write down the office numbers, emails, whatever. Click next. Assign to, we will leave it as it is because we are going to assign to the activities. Click next. Select an existing calendar. Okay, we'll keep it existing calendar, but I will show you we have an option to create personal calendar. Click next. It is asking the calendar name. Now we know what is our calendar name. We can click here. In the last video session, we have learned how to assign calendars to the project itself. So we don't have option here to get assigned project calendar. So I'm going to show you how to assign the calendar onto the resources same as we have assigned to the project. So for now we can keep it. Click next. Auto compute the actuals for this resource. Yes, always keep auto compute the actuals from this for this resource. Click next. That's it. You have to click finish. The resource is created here, but it is coming under sample resource, which I don't want. I want to keep this resource separate. If you look here, it is a name of a project, and under the project I have got all the resources. So that's what I want here. So go to the left arrow or move left button, click it. So now it is on level 1. But now I did not create the name of the project. I have one option. I can copy, Control C and Control V. Everything should be checked in. Click OK. P601001 which we created, it is having a sub resource. So we'll keep it as it is, but we are going to change the name here. We'll say P6000 and we are going to say training session. Now under it we are going to change the ID as we said P6001, and it is showing technician as a resource name and the resource type is labor. From here go to calendar, here calendar, we'll go to project calendar and we have training session calendar name. So copy from here and simply paste and enter here. If you see, it is assigned the calendar same as we have assigned to the activities. And as soon as we have assigned the calendar we have created, it is showing 8 hours per day and the same maximum 8 hours per day. Another way, again, you can click from here and create the resource, but this time I am going to copy, which is more easier. So Control C, or you can right click and copy, click here and Control V, click OK, and my resource is created. But this time I will keep it down and I would say it is helper. I will change the ID 002, and in this case everything is same as this resource, even the calendar. So that's what I want, and we have done. So this is all about how to create resources. It is very simple and easy, but sometimes I have noticed and I have observed that many people who are working as planning engineer, they suffer to create correct resources. I want to show some further details here because we are under the details section. So if you click on details, you will have this window. Under this window, the first thing you have general. Under the general, it is showing resource ID, resource name. The other, all the sections is not relevant now, but you can fill it down according to your requirement if you want. Codes, you can assign different codes, but we are not going to talk about codes here. It's not relevant now at the moment. Details, as you can see here, it is labor. So labor is check-in. We are going to create another resource which is non-labor, and non-labor here we are going to use for cost purpose. So there is a difference between cost and selling price. Cost is what you are going to invest onto your project, and selling price is your contract value you sign with the contract, which includes your profit. So right click, copy, click on training sessions, right click and paste. Click OK. We'll keep it to the bottom. Say P6 SP-01, and we will say here selling price. And we can change from here non-labor, or we can click on non-labor and it will be selected. So it will become non-labor. And if you see this symbol with the like a gear symbol, or this is called non-labor. Now I'm going to create another resource which is material resource. So what I will do, I will copy again and I will paste again. Click OK, move to the bottom, and then I would say P6-MT-01, and I would say here material. I am just giving you idea at high level, but all these technicians can be broken down to the trades like ductman, like excavator, like carpenter, mason, whatever. But the criteria is same. Helper is helper, either helper, or you can further define helper to mason, helper to ductman. But normally helpers are non-skilled labor, so you can keep it helper. It's up to you. Last time we selected the non-labor from here. We can select from here, but I'm just giving you idea. You can click here. It will open up a drop-down list. You can select material from here. Now it is asking, changing the resource type to material will remove all roles assignment. We have not assigned any roles, so it is okay. We'll keep it yes. And if you see the symbol here, that is the different symbol for material. So we have three symbols. The first one, it is showing a gentleman here, and then that one I have talked about, and this one it is showing a symbol of material. Let's click on activity, and that's my schedule. Before we move on, I just want to show you something here. For all the milestone activity, either start milestone or finish milestone, you cannot assign the resources. Why? Because there is zero duration and the resource required some duration. If you click under the activity details window, you have resources. If you click on start, which is my start milestone, it is not allowing to assign any resource. But if I click on duration, which is level of effort activity, I can assign the same task dependent activity. I can assign the resource. In this Excel sheet, what I have done, I have just copied all the activities with WBS and I have pasted here. Okay, and I just make some formatting to make sure that it is all visible in a good way. And then I have added few columns. So I have added labor units, man hours, number of technicians, technician man hours, number of laborers, labor man hours, and then I have got non-labor units cost. But here I have just assigned some numbers randomly, so just going to give you an idea. For example, if you look from the start all the way, there is no labor units because labor units are required for construction work, but not for procurement, not for engineering like shop drawing material. anyone for design. So I'm going to give you idea how I have done the calculation, which is very simple way. So here, let's say I have got 25 days to start and complete this activity, and I'm going to use two number of technicians. These technicians, as I said, it might be mason, it might be whatever, excavator, surveyor, or whoever. But at the moment, I am calling it technicians. Two technicians. And here I have applied the formula. So formula is number of technician into 8 hours, because 8 hours I am going to work in single day. So I am going to utilize two technicians into 8 hours into 25 days. And accordingly, I have got 400 man hours. Same formula I have applied here. I have got two labors and I have applied the formula. And then that's how I have got all my required man hours, which are here. Now let's talk about the cost, or let's say selling price. So last column is my cost or selling price. So let's assume I have got 229,000 selling price for my whole project. So what I have done, I have taken some percentage, which is, I think I have taken 5% for duration activity. It's a level of effort activity. You can assign the P&G cost, which is your running cost. You can put it here and it will distribute throughout the project. And then further, I have just randomly defined the number. So let's say you have this activity design. So you are going to pay some design fees plus his other expenses. So this is how you can break down your total selling price to all the activities. Okay, so that's my spreadsheet ready to load to the activities. I'm going to the construction activity, first construction activity, site survey. Under the resource, I'm going to add. And then that's my created resources. So I'm going to assign technician. So I click on technician and I click assign button, and you can see here it is created. And then I have got helper also for this activity. So I will click on helper. Now we're going to assign helper, click assign button, and here helper is assigned. Close it. If you see excavation, it is showing nothing. But if you click on site survey, because we just added and assigned the resources, it is showing technician and helper. Now we have got here budgeted unit. It is showing 200. 200 is by default. Now I'm going to get man hours from the Excel sheet, which you might not see. Click on it. It will show you are going to edit. Control V, click enter. So helper, I will put 400. On excavation, let's say I'm going to give you another idea how to assign the resources quickly. For example, you want to assign technician to excavation. So click technician, add resource, go to excavation, and then from here you have to click assign button. So the same resource can be assigned to other activity, and then helper, or you can double click and it will be assigned. I'm going to select multiple activities such as substructure, press shift. I'm going to select all the activity until the last activity, and I double click on technician and it will be assigned. And how to know it will be assigned? This red cross sign. And then click on helper. So if you see this red sign is not showing now. Let me assign helper resource and it is showing red color. It means it is assigned. Close the window and you will find out all the activities are assigned. How easy it is? It's very easy. Let's say excavation. It is the same way as we have added the units. So you can keep on adding. Let's say you have 1,000 activity. You cannot do it manually. You don't have enough time. Time is money. So what you can do easily, you can export and import back. So now I'm going to show you how to assign non-labor resource, which is my selling price. Selling price, double click on it and it is assigned. Now for project duration, as I said, it is level of effort activity. So you are not going to assign labor units on it. So we'll keep it only selling price. And now selling price is 3620. So I'm going to the Excel and I'm going to take the units from there. All right, now click on project duration and simply I will paste here the unit, which is 10,938. Press enter and it is done. Now the question is, how to know what are the total selling price or cost, you can go to column, and I'm going to get the column either from cost, but the best practice to go to earned value and take the budget at completion. So double click on it, it is selected, and now close this, go to units and take the budgeted labor units. So double click on it, apply, click OK. Now if you see budget at completion, it is showing 0. However, we have added the budgeted unit here. Why is that? And believe me, I have had this experience with my many colleagues that they suffer with it. They say, I have loaded the units, but it is not visible. Yes, it is not visible because there is a specific reason. To find out the specific reason, we have to go to the resource again, and that is my resource. Now go to unit and price. And if you see unit and price, the standard rate is 0. We have to put here minimum 1. Now let's go to, and it is not showing now. So what do you have to do? Go to tools, recalculate assignment cost, click on the recalculate, and it is showing project assignment prices have been successfully recalculated. Click OK, and it is showing the budget at completion, which I have just loaded here. I made this intentionally because I want you to know that is the very, very common problem to all the planning engineers that I have observed during. So remember, when you have this issue, you know how to resolve. Now we have covered how to load labor resources. We have also covered how to load non-labor resources, which can be either cost or selling price. Now I'm going to show you how to add material resources, but it is same thing. So material resources, let's say MEP activity I have got here. I'm going to click on add resource, click on material, click assign button, and it is added. Close the window. And now it is showing 304, which is default unit coming in. I'm going to put, let's say 3000. And what is this 3000? I'm going to get you to resources again, and under the details, you have here unit of measure. So you can select unit of measure. There are already different kind of units. So let's say in MEP activity, this activity as ducting, I'm going to select square meter and select. Now it is showing unit of measure. I want to know what is my S curve or bar chart look like per month. So I will go to, and I will get non-labor unit, labor and non-labor unit. I will get budget. I don't need actuals. If you want to keep remaining early, it's the same thing, but I'm going to take only budget. Apply. Here we go. Non-labor units. And these non-labor units are spreading because of project duration. It is a level of effort activity. It is starting from June to September. So let's say double click on it, and it is giving me total 290 hours for the month of June. This 290 hours is my selling price. Okay. So the total selling price is 10,000. Against 10,000, I have got every month what I am going to get it. And what is my budget spread throughout the project duration. Now let's say if you want to show here labor units only. Now right click activity usage profile option. And then here I am going to select only labors and apply. So if you see, it is starting from December. Why? Because my construction activity is starting from December. You can see here the dates, 16 December. Okay. You understand, from construction, that's my units. And if you see, that is my cumulative, showing the total units. And then let's say if I click on time period, it will only filter out the activity which is starting in December and going through in December. And let's say if I click on January, it will give me the activities which are starting or finishing in January. Let's say if I click control, click December, click January, click February. If I want to know from December to February, which are the activities I'm going to perform, that is the option. You can have a time period and you can see all the activities based on the units defined here. Now, I'm going to show you another thing which is more important, and it is, as I committed to you from my previous training session. Let's say this activity now under the general, it is task dependent activity. But now we are going to know how resource dependent activity works. So the first thing is I'm going to resources. I'm going to add, let's say, copy and paste. Now this activity I'm going to say, let's say excavator, and it is a labor resource. Now, how to assign the calendar on the resource? We have got three types of calendar. We have learned from the previous session: global, resource, and project. We have already learned and created and assigned the calendar onto the project, and also we have talked about global, but I skipped the resource. So let's say you have excavator. Now you are going to create personal calendar for this resource. Click on create personal calendar, and I'm saying that I could not find any excavator, and that's why I'm going to create a resource calendar for X. So I will select all work hour and I will make it non-work. I will make it non-work. All days I will make it non-work. Okay, keep going. And I'm saying that okay, and click OK. So now it is showing P61 excavator as a calendar, you see here, and also here it is showing. Now let's go to activities, and this activity is starting from 14th January 21 and it is finishing on 8th February 21. If I schedule now, nothing is changed, but it is going to change when I select this activity as resource dependent. So click resource dependent and see, remember this date, 14 January. Let me schedule again, and it is not changed. And why it is not changed? Because we have to assign the resources. So I'm just giving you all the examples, live examples, because I want to show you. Sometimes you change the activity type to resource dependent and you find out nothing is changed. So I'm going to show you why it's not changed, because we have not assigned the resource which are dependent onto different resource calendars. So I'm going to add resource here, excavator, close, and now I'm going to schedule again. And why it is not changed again? Because my primary resource is technician. So I have to change this primary resource. Let us remove these two resources and schedule again. Now it is changed. Site survey activity is finishing on 14 and I have finished start relationship. So this activity should start from 15 January or from end of 14 January, and it was showing as it is. But why it's changed to 16? Because now it is no more task dependent activity. It is resource dependent activity. So we have covered also the activity type, how resource dependent activity works, and how you can define the calendar for resource specifically. Okay, so that is all about the resources. Now, because we have time, and Nixon requested how to do export and import. So I'm going to give you an idea that how to do export and import and how to assign the resources. Okay, from file, so let's export. And in the export window, you have to select spreadsheet, click next. You have to select activities and the resource assignment. Mainly we are going to update resource assignment, but I'm going to show you why I'm taking activity. Then click next, click export. It is showing me a project name. Click next. Now I have a template already here, but I'm going to show you how to create a new template and what are the fields or columns are required for importing and exporting. So click add, name it P6003. Now you have here activities and resource. So let's fix first activities. Under the activities, activity ID, activity status, WBS code, and activity WBS code are by default. Activity names, keep it there. Start, finish, we don't need, so I remove. And actually we don't need anything here. So we'll keep it as it is. We'll go to resource assignment. We don't need start and finish. We'll keep resource type, which is important. We'll keep resource ID, which is very important. And then we will go to units and we will take budgeted units. We will take, you can take remaining, you can take actual, but when you are going to update the resource, because in the program, we don't have any actual activity or progress activity. So only budgeted units are enough. So we'll keep it down, click OK, click next. Now I need to save my file. So I can save my file to a specific folder. Okay, I will say name P6001.3 resource to import. Click open, click next, click finish. It might take few seconds and it will be done. It is showing the export was successful. Okay, now you are watching the exported file onto your screen, right? In this, you have task activity, task sheet, which is activities. You have task RSRC, which is defining resource assignment. In the resource assignment, now these are the columns we have taken. Okay. And then I want to show you some here, like under the bracket, we have a static sign. It's mean if you keep this blank or whatever you write under this field and you import, it will not work. It's called dynamic. The same here, but all the other columns will work. We don't have role ID and cost account ID, so we'll leave it as it is. Now I'm going to show you how you can do it quickly. Let's say we have activity ID, we have WBS code, activity name. Now I'm going to pick some activities from here and I'm going to remove everything what I have assigned, okay? Or I will keep only first activity just to make the formatting. Now, let's say I'm going to load the selling price to the activities. I'm going to select only these activities because if I take more activities, it will take long to import. Here it's only a purpose to know, and if you have one activity or 1,000 activity, the procedure is same. I'm going to select only activity ID here and I will paste as values here. These activities I'm going to assign. So I will keep it here. I don't need activity name. I don't need this column. I need only this column. And now here, because it is showing my resource ID labor and I have to assign non-labor. So from Primavera, I know what is my, so you go to Primavera and just copy the selling price, resource ID, and come back here and just paste value here. And that's my resource ID, which is important. I'm going to fill down. So select the range, press Ctrl D, it is done. We don't need to fill in anything here, so we'll leave it as it is. Now I'm going to get the units here. I will apply VLOOKUP. I know the activity ID. And then I'm going to, and it is showing me the selling price I have defined for these activity, Control D. And then because it is a formula, so you have to make copy and paste value, okay, and leave it. And this activity we will remove That's all. My Excel sheet is ready. I will save it, close it, and I will import. And then from file, I'm going to import. But remember, whenever you import, like if you are importing activities, resources, whatever, you have to make a backup. So export your XZR as backup, because if anything happens, you can recover. Now I'm going to select spreadsheet, click next, select the file, that is my file, click open, click next. Now I only select resource assignment. I will not select activities. Click next, import. There is only one open project, so I will select this. Click next, click finish. It might take few seconds or some minutes and it will be done. Close. It is done. Now if you notice here budget at completion, you remember I have only loaded my budget at completion selling price to my project duration activities only. But now these activities are having selling price and these activities we have just imported. So it is very simple and easy, and I am sure now you have learned how to create and assign resources. We can get the resource assignment from here. If you see here, it is showing resource assignment. Click on the resource assignment. Got here labor, material, non-labor. So now non-labor, this is my cost as I assign, and it is showing all the activities. Now from here I can see, if you see here, it is showing selling prices for each activity. So now what you can do, you can copy all these and you can paste it to the Excel sheet, and from this Excel sheet it will spread all the units in months or based on your selected time scale, and accordingly you can generate the graph to show onto your dashboard, to show as a report. That's all for today. Thanks for watching. I hope you have learned from it and you enjoyed the video.